A lot of you guys are in your 20s and you have no idea how much life is going to cost you. This video is going to help you understand exactly how much rent, your life, marriage, and how much money should you have saved in your 20s. I'm 32 now, but I was in my 20s at one point, and I know it was one of the things that used to stress me out a lot. I wanted to get married, I wanted to have my own house, but truth is I had no idea how much it would cost me. I just didn't understand the cost of having a family. And once you understand the costs, you do understand where you should go in your career, why you should have side hustles, and why you should start a business for yourself. I'll tell you how much it cost for me when I did my wedding. I'll tell you how much mahr I spent. I'll tell you how much I ended up spending years after. And take this as advice from an older brother, that you want to be careful when spending money and you want to make sure whatever you do it in the most halal way possible. I was 25 years old when I got married, and at that time, I wanted to be careful with my money. In fact, I started my recruitment company practically at the same time as me getting married. I didn't spend more than £10,000 on my wedding, though there were other costs that ended up happening. I actually did my wedding in Pakistan, to be fair, though my wife isn't actually from Pakistan. I went to Pakistan to do a wedding because we all know that when you do a wedding in Pakistan, it's always a little bit more fun. And though there was nothing as such haram involved, the point is still, it was a little bit more fun. Now, I'll tell you guys something, and it's something important for you to know. When you're in your 20s, you have the ability to save money, and it only becomes harder to save money later on in life. You tell yourself that it will be easier for me to save money when I make more money, I get promoted, and so on and so forth. But the unfortunate reality is you end up having more responsibilities. You have a wife, you have children, you have to pay for rent. And so saving money between 20 to 25, assuming you get married at 25, it's so much easier. Let's do the maths, for example. On £30,000 a year, you would be making £2,073 a month after tax and deductions, keeping all that in mind. Now, at £30,000, if you're making £2,073, that's a decent wage. It is decent if that is what you're making for yourself. Now, you're going to be thinking, well, if I can make £50,000 a year, and I have a wife and I have one child, actually that's not really that bad. Assuming you guys now are currently living with your parents, usually a lot of our parents look after us in terms of they don't charge us extortionate rent or, a lot of money at home. A lot of us, and some obviously situations vary. But the point is this, if you now get married and you have a child, assuming you now get promoted and you see progression, let's say you make £50,000 a year, you'd be making £3,123. Now that roughly is £1,000 more, bearing in mind that's after tax and deductions take home at the end of the month in your pocket. Now that's not going to happen overnight. For a lot of us, that takes 3, 4, 5 years at times. So you get married at 25, you're making £30,000 a year, and you think, well, actually, if I can make, £50,000 a year by the age of 30, I'll be loving life. Now you've got a wife, and inshallah, Allah blesses you with children. And so the cost of a wife and a child, and possibly moving into your own place, it is more than £1,000. So before you're making £2,000, now you're making £3,000 at 30. The issue is you have to pay for rent. You don't really want your wife to go to work. You want to, as a man, have the ability to be able to pay for your wife and your child and be able to look after them. So rent, your wife, a child, and so many more bills like electricity, water, gas, everything now is something you have to take care of. This is something that isn't really spoken about, and you guys need to understand that you need to start saving your money now if there is something that you want to do at a later point, and take risks before you get married, because it's only harder to take risks once you get married, once you have children. It becomes so much harder because now you have responsibility. It's very difficult to go from £2,500 a month, take a risk and tell yourself you might go back to making £0 or make £500 a month. And well, you can't afford that because you now have a family, you're responsible. And the biggest mistake here you can make is from 20 to 25, you're saving £500 a month, £700 a month, and you're telling yourself, well, I'm going to get married at 25, and so I need to spend £15,000 to £20,000 on my marriage. So assuming this now, if you save £500 a month over 12 months, you're going to save £6,000. If you save from 21 until 25, because you usually leave university at 21, that's 4 years. And so in 4 years, you would have saved £24,000. That's great, by the way. It's very good for someone who's at 24 years old looking to get married. But if you go and spend £15,000 on your marriage, and then you give £3,000 or £4,000 in mahr, and then you go on a honeymoon and spend another £2,000 to £3,000, all of a sudden you're left with £3,000. And all of a sudden, you have a wife, you have more responsibilities, and now it's going to be very difficult for you to save that extra £500. This is a trap, by the way, a trap which a lot of us fall into. And this is me telling you guys, you need to understand the numbers right now before you fall into the trap of getting married, adding responsibilities, and not knowing how much your life is going to change and how much more responsibility you're going to have and how difficult it will be for you to save. Now, what's the solution? The solution is from 20 to 25, you don't have that much responsibility. This is generically speaking. Many of us do, of course, but your situations vary. Generically speaking, young adults between the age of 20 to 25 have less responsibility compared to others. So you can take risks. You can start a side hustle for yourself, a business for yourself. You can do something for yourself. And even if that means you making an extra £1,000 a month, that £1,000 a month can grow into making £3,000 or £4,000 a month. And if you're doing that alongside your job, where you definitely can add a little bit of income to your money, then when you turn 25, it's going to be a lot easier for you to manage your finances. When it comes to your wedding, look, of course, have a nice wedding, but don't go over the top. Give a decent amount of mahr, but don't go over the top. Have a nice honeymoon, don't go over the top. You should always try to have 3 to 4 months saved up in your bank account for a rainy day. Remember, you guys are now responsible for your families. And don't forget, a lot of your arguments with your wife, they will stem from the fact that you are having financial issues. You may not mention it and she might not mention it, but you will have arguments around the financial situation. And I see it day in, day out, and it's something I want you guys to avoid. So if you're currently under the age of 25, or in fact, if you're before getting married, start saving money, start working on your side hustle, start working on your businesses. That side hustle and business is going to be the door for you to have a much easier time once you do get married and inshallah have a family for yourself. And be careful and never go over and beyond when it comes to spending on a wedding, a honeymoon, a car, because once the money is gone, you'll be surprised it never really comes back.